You know what we haven't done in a while? Previews and predictions. And since we got some action happening this weekend, I figured, why not? Why not show off how smart I am by making some predictions? Because I am a predicting genius, which I'm not sure if Mike K and I can find the comment, but someone said that they were going to unsubscribe because I'm too arrogant, which proves that they clearly don't get the joke. But what does he expect? Come on, when I have this face and this hair, and I scored against Mexico. Roll the clip.
Lennon sends it in, the header, and it's into the back of the net. The United States strikes, and it's good.
And let's roll into the first game I want to talk about, Manchester United versus the LA Galaxy. Sure, there's a conversation to be had about the true value of these summer friendlies because it's a no-lose situation for the big European clubs that come over to play. They get to sell jerseys, they get to charge a lot of money for tickets, and they get to build their brand and reach on our shores. Then with regard to the game itself, if the big European club loses to an MLS club, well, it's because they're in their preseason and no one is fit or really trying because they don't want to get hurt. So they have this built-in bullshit excuse. And if the big European club wins, it validates the sentiment of, look how bad MLS is, that a club in preseason can beat them when MLS is in season. So in summation, MLS can't win no matter what the result ends up being. But they can't ignore that these big European clubs are coming over either because it's good for business to be seen competing against these monster clubs that everybody knows around the world. Even if the big European clubs only play their top players for about 15 minutes and they just jog around anyway, wave to the crowd, and then they're off to the field, go sit on the bench with the rest of their superstar teammates. So in summation, I'm all for big European clubs coming over, and I understand why they do. I just wish it was for games that truly mattered so that the fans who are paying their hard-earned money to be at the stadiums could witness both the European and MLS clubs doing everything that they can to win the game, which is why I'm always disappointed that an MLS club hasn't won the CONCACAF Champions League yet. It's gonna happen at some point, it just hasn't happened yet, because that would be automatic qualification to the FIFA Club World Cup, where they could potentially be pitted against the Champions League winner, the winner of the Copa Libertadores, in a meaningful competition. And then I think we could get a fair assessment of where MLS really stands. That is, if you think it's fair that the overall budget for an MLS team for one season is sort of like paying only Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku for one season. Yeah, chew on that for a while. Okay, it's probably more than that. Maybe 3 or 4 players compared to a whole team. So if you think that's fair, then we need to talk off camera. And speaking of Romelu Lukaku, this game against the Galaxy could be his first appearance in a United jersey, and I'm very eager to see less where he lines up, because I know it'll be between the two center backs, and more about who is going to be slotted next to him. I want to see how they all move together. Also, this could be the first game for United's other new signing, defender Victor Lindelof, and I'm interested to see how he performs as well and who surrounds him in the back. I want to see what Mourinho comes out with in this first game. Obviously, he's going to change a lot for the first game of the season, but maybe it won't. And as for the Galaxy, they have struggled this season under new head coach Kurt Onalfo, which is probably due in some part to the transition to Kurt from the winningest manager in MLS history, Bruce Arena, and then they lost top professionals Robbie Keane and Steven Gerrard to retirement. And yes, you can say, well, they're old, but they bring a lot to them, a lot of gravitas, and it just raises the level of the team. And then there's been injuries and national team call-ups and a very inconsistent goalkeeper. They might want to look at making a change there, but they still have a lot of talent, including Gio Dos Santos and Romain Alessandrini. Alessandrini, did I say that right? I think I did. So it'll be interesting to see if they roll out a full lineup to try and win this game, or they're going to take it as a friendly, just have some fun, you know, and go out there and smile for the camera. Personally, I hope they go for it and wipe the floor with United. And up next, it's the US versus Nicaragua. Okay, so I'm well aware that after 2 group games in the Gold Cup, this is the first time since this tournament began in 1991 that the US have surrendered 3 group stage goals. That just makes me want to say, no mommy's way! And yes, I know that we didn't play well in our 1-1 draw against Panama or in our 3-2 much closer than it should have been win over a team that FIFA doesn't even rank, Martinique. And yes, I know that manager Bruce Arena made 8 changes after the first game to the second, so there's going to be some issues there in terms of rapport. And yes, I know we have a tendency to play to the level of our competition. And yes, I know that I might get some pushback for saying this, but taking the physical, tactical and technical ability out of the equation. If you can make that jump mentally. We're missing some valuable intangibles out on the field like leadership. Or the one player that can put his foot on the ball and you know everything is gonna be all right, like a Xavi or Iniesta, or two guys I played in a World Cup with that I rate very highly, Claudio Reyna or John O'Brien. Because when you have these types of players on the field, those who speak up and organize, and the others who can control the tempo of the game or release the pressure from the other team with their calmness on the ball, it relaxes everyone else, and then everyone else feels more confident, and then the focus on tactics and technique gets better. And you can laugh at me if you want. You probably do, or you scoff at me or roll your eyes or whatever it is, and I'd probably laugh at me too actually, but I have seen it firsthand in high pressure situations, and I know that it makes a big difference. And from what I've seen, these intangible issues, more than anything else, is what the US is lacking. Now granted, we have a lot of new players on our 23-man roster for this tournament, which is great. I'm always for broadening our player pool, and by the way, I always complimented Jurgen Klinsmann for doing the same, but it feels like, and I want to emphasize the phrase feels like, that the players are playing with a sense of, I just want to play safe and not lose my spot on the team, rather than thinking, F it! This is my chance to show what I am all about, and I am going to go for it. Because if they had that attitude, then I feel like that hunger and desire would be evident for everyone to see, both individually and collectively, and I'm not sure we've seen that consistently from any individuals or this group yet. And I mean, the 1-1 result against Panama, though frustrating, is honestly something that I accept because they just happen to play very well against us in this tournament. Panamanians frustrates me. But giving up a 2-goal lead to Martinique, a team that seriously shouldn't even get a shot on goal against us, only to nab a late winner to beat them 3-2, is not good enough. It's just not good enough. So this is what I suggest you do, US men's national team, to get all 3 points and win the group. You play in Nicaragua's half as much as possible, and you don't let them breathe. You step on their throats! When I was playing for the national team under Bruce, he asked the 2 center backs who could see the whole field to make the decision as to when to step up and when to pressure as a group. And of course, when we didn't. But if we did go, that meant putting extreme pressure on the ball, and that could lead to me, as a center back, being isolated 1v1 with the opposing team striker for about 5 to 10 seconds. I'd say that was the risk that we were willing to take. But if the pressure on the ball is legit, then it becomes almost impossible for the player on the ball to pick up their head and make a significant pass. Not just, I mean, they can make a pass, but if they do get it off, it's usually very predictable as to where the pass is headed, thus making it easier for guys like me to intercept, and then we can counterattack the other way and everybody's happy, and they can never get into a rhythm. And I could go on and on about this, so I'll keep this last part short, fellas. If you're watching, and I know that you guys love all my videos, listen to these words once again.
Step on Nicaragua's throats right from the start.
Don't let them get into a rhythm of any kind, and let go of any fear that you're playing with. And please, over-communicate. And please, play for each other. And please, do the simple things perfect every time, and then you're gonna be fine. I believe in you. Okay, sorry, this has been less previews and predictions and more ranting coach time with Jimmy Conrad, but it was fun, wasn't it? And this is the part where you say, yes, this is the best video of all time, Conradinho. I'm gonna like and subscribe and tell all my friends about it. So enjoy your weekends, and I'll catch up with you guys on Monday. Also, Warmballers for life. Later.